What's up, everybody? Another episode of Verbal Garbage coming at you hot and live after we've been stewing at the bottom of the trash. The owner's been neglecting to take us out. We've been sitting there marinating, creating quite a stew. It's been quite a while since I've been on here, and most of my listeners and my friends and my family know that we've been relocated because of the hurricane. So I'm staying at my brother Kurt's house. So super grateful for that, but just the confines of where I'm at are not the most conducive to a podcast recording, if you will. He took in a dog after the storm and rescued one, but my lord, is that dog a podcaster's worst nightmare? He'll bark at any little thing, and Kurt's girlfriend's parents were just staying with him slash us for the last like month and a half, and they got to know Scout. They brought their dog who's German. They speak German, so I think the dog might also be a little confused now because he had 2 months of English. Now he's got some German coming in. So much like my brother, he's struggling with his domesticated identity, if you will. Not sure of the country of origin, but yeah. So just the lighting's tough, the noise. Tonight like they're both off, so there might be some background noise and struggle to find motivation to get on here. Much like I'm struggling to get back into the routine of all my normal stuff before the hurricane, but it's what you do. You come on here and make the best of it. So come on, do a quick little solo podcast. And I was hemming and hawing whether I should come on today and do one. And I know I used to do Mondays and I'm trying to get back into it. And right after, as I was cooking my little steak frites dinner, the steak and potatoes, I was listening to a podcast, getting ready to come in and finish my Bertie Madoff documentary. But my one buddy texted me, where are the new episodes at? So that was just kind of a sign, it was meant to be. I should have been on here doing my thing and getting back into the swing because it's something I enjoy. It's that verbal therapy, that verbal garbage. So just definitely some work stories to get into for sure. But I thought I'd just start off a little bit NFL recap. We just had the divisional weekend coming off of four big games. We had Jaguars and Chiefs. We had Eagles Giants. We had Bengals Bills, and we had Cowboys Niners. Quick little recap. Chiefs, despite a Patrick Mahomes injury, a little injury scare with that high ankle sprain. We're not. Everyone's saying he's going to be fine for next week, but if you watch the game, you saw him struggling to make the handoffs and struggling to do Mahomes type of stuff. Now, granted, he is the best and probably overcome that, but our boy Dougie P led Jacksonville to a heroic little fight. Close game. Not Jacksonville's year yet. A few pieces away for sure, but hell of a year from those little Jaguars. Uh, Saturday night, the game of the week, as far as I'm concerned, we had the Birds coming off their bye week as the number one seed, facing the Giants of New York. Those just dirty, disgusting fans and that disgusting team of theirs. My one of my big inspirations for podcasts is Bill Simmons. He was hemming and hawing for the last couple of years, bitching about Daniel Jones, about how bad he is, and then after a couple of games, he's picking them to really contest with the Eagles, talking about Daniel Jones, no love for Jalen Hurts, and as a Philly fan, we're used to it. Just getting the shit end of the stick, the underdog role, the underdog mentality, and just like the Vikings when they came into Philly, 38-7 5 years ago, and game was all ours. If you were watching the game, much like I was, you never really thought that the Eagles were really fully exerting themselves, really going into the playbook for the deep cuts. But a win's a win. Divisional opponent. 49ers coming into Philly next week with the rookie quarterback that's getting all the love and the praise, but now he's got to play on the road and hostile environment in Philly. So can't wait for that game. Every time my Eagles play, I usually go over to my friend Neil's house, and he's got, we just all the TVs, the canal view. He's got the pool right in the back with the lanai, TVs everywhere, the NFL package, and we just love eating. And one of my good friends, Carmela, we grew up together, and she decided, for happiness sake and for health sake, she was gonna start doing the gluten free shit. So I'm usually the kibble commander when it comes to these things. I'm usually bringing the food and trying to coordinate. But now we've got a little monkey wrench thrown into the plans here. We got the gluten free, and you know, there's nothing against her, but I find it funny that like when I used to work in bars and restaurants, we would get gluten free people that would come in and they'd start throwing a fuss. I'm gluten free. What can I eat? I'm like, I don't know. You're gluten free. You tell me. Like, and sometimes you'll go places and people will be like, well, what is that gluten free? Well, no. Why didn't you? Well, if you're gluten free, why don't you make a gluten free dish so everyone can indulge and see what we're missing out on? You try to promote that lifestyle and encourage us to come aboard. So I don't know. There's definitely some blasphemy with that, sometimes. And I'm not saying it to you, Carmelo. I love you, and that's not a shot at you. I'm just talking. So Eagles 49ers next Sunday. See what kind of food we can whip up that caters to all walks of life. And I slept kind of weird. I'm a little weird sleeper. I got all the Tempur-Pedics in the world. I got the body pillow. I got two different types of Tempur-Pedic. I got the pillow pets, and for some reason, I think Grogu, my little trusted partner. I think I slept a little weird with him on my shoulder, and both shoulders are feeling a little juicy and tender today. Yet another excuse to miss jujitsu, so that worked out well. But yeah, then Sunday we had that Bengals Bills rematch, and I haven't been on here in a while, but that Monday night football game, which unfortunately cost me my championship in one of my fantasy leagues, but it's not about me. It's not about me. Damar Hamlin, if you non-football fans aren't familiar, a gentleman actually had his heart stop on the field during a football game and had to get resuscitated back to life. And for someone who's been watching football for, let's call it like 24 years for the sake of argument, pretty much like I don't miss a Sunday. It might sound pathetic to some of yous, but that's cool. I ride for those Sundays, and that's what I live for. And I was just talking to people today at work about how like you're never gonna, like, for me, I'm never really gonna find that dream job. So you just find, like, I really enjoy my job right now, day to day, and we'll get some stories to recap the lost time. But you just gotta find something that you like enough, I feel like, that you can tolerate and find the trade off. So I can feel like I have to see a certain amount of stops in a day. And if I can be efficient and be on top of that quickly and, get out of the truck and see people, bring them to me as opposed to waiting, then I can save minutes throughout the day, and it allows me to get home earlier to be able to do other things that I enjoy. So it's that work life balance, plus the Monday through Friday, let's call it 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever you want to call it. It's something I've always wanted. And working in retail and then restaurants for the past 10 years, it's been something very challenging for me. It's just far as the schedule, the restaurant money. Don't get me wrong. We were bringing in that little cake batter, but I'd be working Saturday nights. I'd be working Sundays, brunches, getting home at halftime for the Eagles game. Just things that, little things in life. But I'm a huge sports fan, so not missing any of these events lately has been a real dream. Speaking of sports, let's go finish football real quick, and I'll do a little Dana White thing. I hope I have my water in here because I'm talking quite a bit. But so yeah, the Bengals Bills game, you obviously had a player's heart stop. They resuscitated and brought it back to life. Just a horrible thing to watch live and really, really weird. And then to have them rematch a few weeks later. Um, Josh Allen, I don't know. Say what you want. He might have been hurt. I don't know. He didn't look great. Bills didn't look great. I mean, what can you say? Bengals Chiefs. Bengals looked awesome, and it's going to be a hell of a game. Cowboys Niners. Everyone, including me, thought that was going to be the game of the weekend. The two storied franchises. There's a lot going on, a lot of buzz. Naturally, as an Eagles fan, you always want to root against the Cowboys, but I felt myself kind of rooting for them because I thought it'd be kind of fun to see an Eagles Cowboys NFC Championship game in Philly. Just thought that would have been pretty wild. So yeah, we got Eagles Niners, we got Chiefs Bengals championship games. You could make a pretty damn good argument those are the best four teams left, and that's the way it shook out. So let's ride with that. But okay, my UFC point. Obviously, I've been huge into MMA for so long, and something I've really enjoyed watching. But recently, I feel there's been a little bit of a shift, and I mean there's a couple moments that really stick out, but I don't know what it is. I'm not saying like the UFC's peaked or it's over or anything like that, but there's there we go with the first dog bark of the episode. And I don't know how many minutes in we're in, but if I had to take the over under, I would definitely have taken the under on that and I would have lost. So shout out to you, Scout. I appreciate you holding your bark in for some irrelevant wind below or some biker. You know, he has a real thing for motorcycles. He hears them and he just goes berserk. So yeah, but I just thought it was weird with obviously the Dana White slap comes about on TMZ and gets very minimal coverage, and a lot of MMA guys have talked about it and just the power of Dana White and how it just shows how powerful he really is when none of these media outlets, including ESPN or all these other places that didn't really do much time on that story. Whereas if you could argue any other commissioner or any other owner of any team, they do that. Cancel cultures immediately got their talons in them, their fangs in them, and they're done. But Dana White not only seemed to skirt by unscathed, um, he had some weird press conference where he was trying to self-impose some punishments and ask their opinion, and saying his punishment is great enough just due to the fact that he's known for what he's known for now. And yeah, it's kind of a joke. So not only does he get very little pushback on all this whole thing, but then he goes out and his slap league, which I don't know if you guys have seen. It's absolutely abhorrent. Um, just two people, because I almost said dudes. No, because there's women that do it too. Um, they stand across each other. They essentially put their hands behind their back and wait for the other guy to slap them. I mean, just fucking. Let's all right. Let's pull up one. Just because we haven't done the share screen in a while, and I feel like this could be a good chance for some people to really get a glimpse into what we're talking here. But for those of you who don't know, Dana White, he bought into the slap league, this power slap. So not only is he a part owner, but he's the promoter. And after this whole thing, it just felt really in poor taste to have a man who just slapped his wife a few times promoting a league where people are slapping the shit out of each other to the point of unconsciousness. Um, so yeah, somehow I'm not even gonna say what I was just gonna say, but somehow you can get that kind of stuff televised now, where you just and you'll get some haters that would say, "Well, you watch MMA and I mean, come on, MMA, you're defending yourselves, you can take people down, you don't have to." This is like two guys just waiting to slap each other. This screen share is not working out, so we don't need to watch it. You're welcome. You didn't need to see that anyway. So just a weird thing, and then Francis Ngannou, the heavyweight champion, essentially mutually parting ways with the UFC due to, let's just call a spade a spade. It's due to him not getting compensated what he deserves, being the heavyweight champion of the world. And then you had, Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson coming out talking about his pay scale in his UFC fights, and it's just crazy. And these guys go out, and you just watch Glover Teixeira, 42 years old, in the top 10 his whole entire career. I think I read his last fight was brutal. He's cut up horrible, and just knowing that guy gets no kind of health insurance, no benefits, no kind of pension plan, it just starts making you feel a little weird after watching these guys. And now, don't get me wrong, I'm still gonna watch the cards and stuff, but there just seemed to have been a little bit of a shift. And trust me, if I could like not care about sports, my life would be so much easier. I feel like, because I'm at the point now, we're 30 years old, 31 years old. We're far into it. You're kind of, I don't want to say stuck in your ways, because I'm always trying to take on new things and learn about new stuff, but you definitely have your routines and your patterns and your rhythms that you fall into. And I'm at the point where I base a lot of my, scheduling off, not that I'm like got my schedules booked, but off sporting events. Whether, the Eagles are playing this Sunday at 3. So I know come 3 o'clock, like I'm not going to have anything going on. And that's just same thing goes for 6:30. And it's just like, they're just things you get into and you just clear them out. And if I could just not care about UFC fights and football, like it'd be cool. It really would. But there's already one of those in my family. So can't really be me. Right. Um, so we got some UFC, we got some NFL. I guess we can dive into a few work stories. And another thing, real quick, Franny. if you're listening, uh, please email me back at just my screen name down on the bottom right here, Francis Bites. It's just my first initial, my last name, and then 1030 at gmail.com. For all the listeners, Franny was a co-contributor on the podcast. We would have some episodes, just go banter back and forth and have some fun. And was trying to get a hold of her because I had got a new phone recently when I was staying with my sister in Virginia. And a couple of devastating things out of that. One, my music, like not Apple Music, but like my iTunes music on there that was 10, 15 years in the making of, me going on LimeWire, me trading mixtapes with friends in middle school and, taking theirs, burning theirs onto another CD, copying it, and then giving theirs back, and just all these different things. I had all the rap mixtapes and every single Beatles album, like literally every single one, and every door, just everything. That all got lost from my phone, and a lot of my, not my passwords, but places like Reddit where I was signed in and forgot. I rarely forget to keep passwords, but forgot to put mine on there, so I got locked out of that one, and so I can't. I had tons and tons of guests lined up, and as of right now, that's all lost at sea. So I'm gonna kind of have to build this thing back up from the ground. So tell a friend, tell a mother, tell a father about verbal garbage. We're trying to get it back going, and once I'm able to get back into my parents' house and get my own little space that's a little more conducive to recording, I'll be back on it once or twice a week. But as of right now, I gotta try to make it a point to at least do one every 2 weeks, just to keep the show current, keep it a little fun, because I had a lot of current events that I wanted to talk about, but they're a little older at this point. So, um, what do we want to talk about? I guess we'll just do a couple little work things. I got one thing that I would like to pick the listeners' brains about, just a rhetorical, open-ended question, if you will, and actually rhetorical and open-ended, kind of contradictory. You know what I meant? Like I'm speaking out to an audience who can't respond back, but I hope all you guys are listening, driving, walking your dog, whatever. You can listen to the scenario and kind of go from there. But before that, just a little quick question also. Was at a shop a couple weeks ago, right? And these guys aren't there right away. So I'm, trying to knock on the front door. Nobody's there. I'm going into the shop. Nobody's there. The garage, side door, knock, knock, knock. Okay. The one place I forget or don't have the wherewithal to knock is the bathroom. Now I open the bathroom door and there is a gentleman standing there producing a number one, but he's standing up there like while he's taking a piddle, his pants are, I'm trying to think, like mid hamstring, and my question out there is for the gentleman out there, if it's a private bathroom, a stall, whatever the situation is, if you're standing upright, are you, like, and nobody's around, in a perfect world, like at a urinal, a stall, whatever, are you taking your pants all the way down, like sagging them, like how some people wear them at the mid hamstrings, and then urinating, or are you just piddling with the little fly down, or pulling I don't know, but very very strange to me. I'm definitely a fly, or I can't recall the last time I've produced a little piddle and had my drawers all the way down to my feet. So shout out to him. It's a very bold move, and just got to wonder, like at a football game, what are we doing? Now he could be like me and be one of these guys, and I've admitted it before on the show. I'm a self-admitted piddle, sit while you piddle kind of guy when the situation is all right, or anytime at all. I don't know if it's like a birth defect or a malfunction or part of my little like autism spectrum thing, but sometimes when I'm taking that morning squirt, that afternoon squirt, whatever the case may be, you get the stream kind of like trickling out and squirting all over and just getting, and it's like, then you got to get the Lysol wipes, wipe the floor if it gets to that far, or you got to kind of do a precautionary anyway, just to be safe, and wipe the seats. I'm like, when I could just sit and eliminate any kind of little misspray or misfire, there just seems to be so many other perks to sitting. And, I know Larry David's in my corner, and I know this is probably one that I'm going to be fighting alone, but And like I said, if I go to an airport or something, like I'm not going to go out of my way to go sit because God forbid you want to sit in public. But and I guess that could be the other side of the coin. I could just have this argument with myself all day and convince one way or the other. But I'm like, well, if you do like sitting, but then you go to public places and it's always dirty and you don't want to sit because it's the same reason you don't want to take a dookie. Well, why would you want to go and sit? But I can kind of adapt. I'm situationally fluid when it comes to piddling. How about that? Situationally fluid. So I can stand, I can sit, whatever the case may be. I can kind of do a half breed, a little squat if need be. But where the fuck was that going? Talking about. Oh, so I walked in and like so yeah, with the shorts down. Yeah, whatever. Don't even know why I brought that up. Anyways, next thing, and this is the little weird issue of work. So I like talking about work, so I'll talk to you guys about it. So being a snap-on guy, we sell tools, tools break, hand tools like screwdrivers, ratchets, wrenches, sockets, Torx bits, like just all that kind of stuff. We can warranty out by hand. And, if somebody breaks a wrench, I order a new wrench or I have a wrench in the truck and we swap it out. And then I warranty mine out and we get them credit, send them back in, the broken ones, right? So when you're selling power tools, electric tools, diagnostic tools, scanners and such, electric ratchets, electric screwdrivers, technically, or not technically, but when you're using electronic or technology, things are prone to break and have issues. So we have battery operated power tools that are going to have issues. So one of these guys has an issue with his, just like many others. Take it in. It's dirty beyond the point of me being able to read the part number, the serial number. So I kind of put in what I thought, ended up being the wrong part number. But the good thing is you send it into a place that deals with these all day, every day, and they can tell a quarter inch from a 3/8 from a half inch, as far as the ratchet head size. So I had put in the part number for a quarter inch, but it in fact was a 3/8 inch, 3/8 of an inch. Okay. So paperwork says quarter inch, but in the bag is a 3/8. Send it in, get it back, go to drop it off to the guy. If you can believe it, he's taking a nap on his lunch break and mouth breathing away. So just thought about waking him up, didn't wake him up, left the ratchet behind. Cool. Going to my next couple shops. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon. Get a text. Hey man, quarter inch ratchet you gave me is not the right one. I sent in a 3/8. All right, no problem. I'll be by to grab it tomorrow. If you don't mind, don't use the ratchet. Too late. Been using it. So how I responded. So right away, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little perturbed. It's a little annoying to me, just in the sense that here you are acknowledging that you got the wrong tool, and I'm gonna put the whole scenario out there for everybody so everyone can kind of take their spin. And when you see me in person, let me know what you think about this, please. Um, so again, I write in the service order, I submit it. It shows up to the service center. Now, all they got to do is take the ratchet out and see, oh, it's not a quarter, it's a 3/8, right? So ratchet gets sent back. I just told you I drop it off, go back that very next morning because I see too late been using it. And I was like, all right, that's just kind of annoying. Like, if you could have just responded like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I shouldn't have used it. I have been using it. I'll clean it up or something along the anything. But too late been using it just really rubbed me the wrong way. So I show up the next morning, and right away he's a little on edge. I can just tell. And it's just funny dealing with this kind of shit all day. You're essentially dealing with problems all day, and then you gotta problem solve or figure out how to resolve the conflict or keep people at bay or make people happy who are unhappy. It's a challenge, and that's why I like it. Not to mention I don't know dick about tools. So we're talking, and he's just saying, yeah, no, I definitely sent in a 3/8. This is a quarter inch. I'm like, oh, my bad. I mean, stuff happens, mistakes happen. I don't know if it was on me or on the service center, but we'll get it taken care of. But I'm not gonna lie, and this is exactly what I said to him. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way when you texted me acknowledging that you had gotten the wrong tool. And then when, I ask you nicely not to use the wrong tool that you acknowledge that you got, you respond too late been using. And he says, yeah, man, they're tools, they're gonna get used. And if the roles were reversed and I were giving these kind of responses, I'm the asshole, I'm the bad guy, I'm the villain. That's the problem with like the customer service or the retail or the sales jobs. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate when people can have a certain energy and certain way of talking and a tone and a demeanor, and it's all in the body language, eye contacts, the just how you're acting, and everything about him was hostile. It was negative. It was confrontational. And here I am trying to diffuse it, and I'm just saying nicely, like, I didn't think it was cool that you brought up the fact that you acknowledge it was the wrong thing, then you use it, and then you respond by, well, yeah, it's a tool. It's going to get used. Okay, well, can I have that tool back? So yeah, he goes over, fucking pissed off, rips the battery out of it, hands me over the tool, which is fucking filthy, by the way. After not even 24 hours, good like. So I'm just like, wow, you don't even have the decency to offer to wipe it off or be anything. So then he storms over to me and says that I'm taking it out on him, and I'm what did he say? I'm being unfair and I'm trying to take advantage of him. And I'm like, I would like to know how that's the case. Here I am just responding to you saying you got the wrong tool. So I come up to pick up the wrong tool to try to make it right and figure out what happened to yours and how we can make it right. And then you're giving me all this stuff. So he comes on the truck all nasty, asking about how much is a new ratchet. Right when I tell him the price of new ratchets, he flips his shit and says, "You know what? I can't fucking wait to just pay you off, so I don't have to deal with you anymore, and I'll just deal with the Mako guy." And I'm like, "Okay, no problem. You want to make a payment right now?" And he just got really pissed off at that. And I'm just thinking, if you pay it off today, it's one step closer to not dealing with me anymore. And I'm still going to be the bigger man. I'm going to go out there, and today and Friday I was out there calling the repair center, figuring out what the hell happened. They're taking no culpability for this. It's saying it's impossible. It never could have went through the channels that you're saying and gotten to you back. Well, I have a 1/4 inch ratchet and I sent it a 3/8. So you can say what you want, but yeah, something went wrong. And I had told them right away, I put in the wrong part number, I sent in the wrong part number, but it was with the unit. So you should have been able to tell. And no, impossible. Couldn't happen. Sorry. So that's just another problem I got to deal with amongst many others. But like I said, please listen to that little scenario and let me know what you think as far as that goes. And if you think I'm in the wrong, if he's in the wrong, just kind of give me your thoughts on that. One other thing I guess I can cover real quick is no, two things. I've grown to really love Publix down here, and I have this weird thing about on Saturdays and the weekends. I grocery shop way too much. I go to Publix, I go to Walmart, and I hate Walmart. I know what everyone's thinking, but I just go there for, like, let's say I need to get a big thing of laundry detergent or a big thing of toilet paper, or there are just certain things, toothpaste, shaving cream, like when you're getting it in bulk or you're getting a good amount of it at once, toiletries, things that, like, not meat. Anything but meat is fair game at Walmart. So like I'll go to Publix, and I'll get my lunch meat, my cheeses, my chicken. If I'm not getting it from BJ's, like my chicken, my steak, all that kind of stuff from Publix or BJ's, Farmer Joe's. But for the toiletries, Q-tips, toothpaste, toilet paper, toothpaste, just any random shit, I go to Walmart. So Publix has this beautiful thing because I pack my own lunches, I make my own sandwiches every day. They have this wonderful feature where you go online, you either pay for your sandwich or your lunch meat online, or you order it ahead of time and you go. So since I've been staying with my brother, we've had this little bit of a dilemma, where I love ordering ahead of time so I don't have to wait in line. Obviously, I'm just doing what most people would like to do who can function on a piece of technology to order it. So I like ordering it ahead of time and paying when I can. But if I can't pay, I just go. So we're kind of having a little war right now because um like I've ordered what's called 6 times of the local Publix closer to his house now, and they're really good at not getting my order ready. Okay, so I'll order something for like 5:30, and I used to show up at 5:25, do my shopping, look around, kill some time, notice it wasn't there, and I would always be like, this is strange. 15, 20 minutes, and I'm not that passive guy that's just very nice. I don't want to be rude, and I'll just sit back and, excuse me, I placed an online order after waiting for like 35 minutes. Do you think you could check and see if maybe it's ready by any chance? But if not, it's okay. Like, you can help somebody else. It's okay, no problem. Or I should just be like, hey, excuse me, like, I ordered lunch meat for 5:30 pickup. Is it ready or not? Thanks, bitch. Fucking bye. But I don't do that. And I see, you go out in public and you see the way some people talk to people and act. It's like, man, you didn't work in retail or service. I can just tell that hospitality shit. Uh, so so close to losing my train of thought. Oh my god, squirrel, Squirrel, squirrel. 1, 2, 3. Squirrel. Oh, Publix. So excellent squirrel meat. So yeah, I've been ordering my lunch meat. They're not having it ready, And then a couple times I would order stuff and then forget to pick it up. It's kind of like a karmic little payback, right? So now we've had the most recent dilemmas. I love my buffalo chicken and blazing Boar's Head blazing hot buffalo chicken. Always order it, always the same way, and now I'm just starting to wonder if they're correlating the name with the order and starting to kind of play with me a little bit because yesterday I went to go pick it up and and I didn't realize till I got in the car all on the way home, lemon pepper chicken breast. Okay. I don't like the taste of lunch meat, really. I like putting hot sauce on my buffalo chicken to make it even spicier and with a lot of lettuce and cheese and hot sauce. So you don't really taste as much of the lunch, because I'm a texture weirdo and I get freaked out by texture. Like the last time I ate turkey lunch meat, I literally took one bite and just threw up. So I'm one of those guys who throws up from a couple bites of ice cream or gets sick from that, and just pathetic. God bless me with a really sensitive tailpipe, and I don't know why, but it's all good. So the online ordering for Publix has been a little bit of a nightmare, and this is just the way my life goes. These little interactions each day are what I make note of when I'm driving, especially driving the big snap-on truck. I got bird's eye view of all these terrible drivers, and my God, how bad's the traffic been lately, and just seeing these people just running amok all over these streets. So like I said, Franny, if you're out there, please reach out to me, email me, shoot me a text, 609-410-9088. Anyone out there listening, want to be a guest, come on. Like I said, I kind of got to start over from scratch. I lost all my guest contacts. Ooh, spicy little fart for the verbal garbage outro. Yeah, so this has been fun. Trying to get back on here a little bit more, and please like, subscribe, share, whatever you got to do, and keep me in your thoughts, keep listening, and thank you guys. Peace.